Hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this is a session of community radio, which is written by Quinn Murphy. There was a Kickstarter for this a while back. I got my copy of the PDF, and it's one of these sort of one-shot games I've wanted to put on the calendar for a while. This session is part of Open Hearth Gaming, which you can find out about more about at openhearthgaming.com. It's an online gaming community that a number of GMs in the community record their sessions. They go up into collected YouTube videos, and then you can also listen to this as a podcast. We have a podcast feed for those episodes that the GMs post there with an automatic conversion, so you can check that out. And I will advocate. We have coming up in a couple weeks, we'll be releasing a Game of the Year episode where 40 people from the community have contributed their picks. I think it will be the largest collection we've ever had of picks talking about the game, not necessarily that it came out this year, but the game they played or read or engaged with in some way that they enjoyed the most. Um, so I am going to go through the cats for this, and then that's going to talk a little bit kind of about how the structure of play works as well, but I'll kind of talk a little bit about that. So this is an improvisational game. It's kind of a dark comedic improvisational game. That comedy comes from the collision of strangeness and people playing things straight, weirdness. It's telling stories about an isolated and weird community. It's inspired by shows that center around radio stations. While the game incorporates elements of the supernatural, an homage to the hilarious and creepy podcast Welcome to Nightvale. The game also takes cues and inspiration from media like Twin Peaks, News Radio, Northern Exposure, and Alan Wake. I changed that a little from his original things because I'm kind of feeding it through my particular filter because I'm playing Control from Remedy games right now and loving it and thinking about going and playing Alan Wake, and I can't aim for shit on a console. But any place where dysfunctional antics play out around a radio station is great fodder and source material for this game. The approach to this is we're playing a game. We're going to alternate between playing out a slice of life as a member of the community. You four will be doing that. And then listening to announcements and commentary on those scenes from the local public radio host who may or may not be completely beholden to a sinister and mysterious city council. So that's basically the structure of play. And we can talk about tone, how dark we want the material to be. It can range between high weirdness and oddball presentation. I'm imagining Alice is Missing has a little bit of that kind of weird feel, weird vibe to it. Ugly Americans was a cartoon show that has a kind of strangeness to it. To the uncanny, which suggests something more sinister. If you played Control, there's the Threshold Kids videos in there that are truly creepy. Um, to darker ideas and material, anything creepypasta, or if you've seen the movie Pontypool, which focuses on a radio station. So anybody have sense like we've got a couple of radio stations. So I just want to have that in the back of mind because we're going to be picking. There are three radio stations. Two of them are kind of weird, and one of them's creepy. So we'll kind of take a look at those, and we'll choose one of those, and we'll talk about kind of the range that we want to work in when we pick that. Our subject matter for the play is going to depend on how we approach that, but it can include corrupt systems, conspiracies, the weird infecting everyday life, potentially gaslighting from authorities, and problems and disruptions within a community. Now, to facilitate that, as we do with all games at Open Hearth, we use a layered set of safety tools. So you can refer to the safety tab. We are using the classic lines and veils as our kind of a baseline here. Line being anything that just all of us will know that this is not a topic, a thing that we want to bring up in play. It's not something we're going to be presenting or dealing with in any kind of improvisation or any kind of segments. Veils being anything that if we have it present, it's going to be referred to off screen. We're going to elide it. We're going to fade to black on it. And then ask first for anything that, okay, I'm interested in that, but I definitely want to check in before we bring that to bear. So I'm going to let you take a look at that and add to that list. Let me see. I always have to mark mine as well. got a couple of lines that I always have to put there. That's sort of our baseline. So feel free to add to that. The second level is, of course, we'll also be using as a reactive tool. We'll be using the X card, meaning that if anything that arises that we find problematic, objectionable, or even wildly off tone, we can do the X card either with the gesture or saying X card to go back and rework what happened there. The only question we might need to ask is how far back do we need to go? With the X card, when you invoke that, as when you invoke any safety tool, you don't have to explain your decision, your choice, your reason for why you have invoked that. You're welcome to, but you don't have to. You don't have to provide an explanation. For me, the X card is also potentially a place for calibration. If the particular with the style or the intensity is getting off in a way that you want to stop and have us recalibrate, or if we're starting to head towards something that we've got marked as a line or a veil, then that's something that you can X card to have us stop, reframe ourselves, and then go forward. So there's that tool. The last tool is if you need to go, if you need to step away for whatever reason, emotional, physical, uh, Amazon's there, whatever, you should feel free to do that. It'd be great if you could tell us that you're going to be back, but if not, you don't have to. If we see you vanish, we're going to hope for the best. But understand that can happen. So that is our sort of last tool. Um, uh, so I want to go through, give you another minute. Once everybody's set with the lines and veils, if you could just put OK in the chat, so I'll confirm everybody has seen and finished that out. Oh, and I should always say this, I always forget to say this when we do lines and veils. If there's anything that's uh, not present on the list that you need to add to it, feel free to add that to the end of the list. Ray, are you good? Okay.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
good.
Sorry.
Sorry, I
Uh,
missed that.
Lines, we have lines right now on dental horror, fat phobia, homophobia, sexual assault, and torture. And then we have veils on graphic gore, harm to animals, and sexual content. Oh, and thank you for marking those with red. I need to get the little thing to auto do
Oh
that, but I
no,
always
that's
forget
fine.
to do it.
Oh
Um,
no, it's okay.
so the structure of play is going to work like this. We've got cycles. A cycle is a slice of life scene followed by a broadcast. In the slice of life scene, we have a player choose a scene frame. When we get to the tabs with the different radio stations, you'll see that there's a universal set of scene frames. You can either pick one or you can roll 3d6 to pick one. The player who does that will figure out what elements they want to put in there. There is a suggested list in the different things. You can again roll or choose on that. Once you've got that set, you'll present the frame aloud, and then we'll set up a tight timer. It's 2 minutes for you to get your other players together, brainstorm kind of what you want to frame up here, and then we'll once we'll cut on that, and then we'll go right into the scene, and we get a tight 2 minutes. If all of you are in a scene, we add a little more time, but it's intended to be very tight. Um, Once that's done, everyone is going to write up a decree from the council. It can refer to the scene that has just been played out, or it can refer to anything else. These decrees can be as weird or as normal as you wish. No parking downtown on alternate Tuesdays, or vampires may not, purchase pineapples. These are the kinds of decrees that can be put there. Those will be written in on the council decree tab in a particular column, and then we'll randomly decide which one actually gets imposed by the council. And to reveal that, we next go to my phase as the host, is the broadcast phase, in which I will do the bumper for the station, and then I will do community news, a specific radio segment, and then announce the city council's decree. Uh, what what the broadcast does is the broadcast tries to kind of comment, add new details in, and spin off from the material that has happened in that scene. Uh, and we'll go around and have everybody do a cycle, and we'll look at our time then. And if it feels like, because I have no idea how long that's going to take, it's 2 minute blocks, but I have no idea how long it actually is going to take in time. But we'll see off that. So we have three possible stations. WAYS, Ways, you'll find yours. You'll just wait. So this is a town that finds the lost. There are labyrinthine streets and a forest that wanders in and out. The city is kind of dominated by a maze and labyrinthine things, probably literal, physical, metaphorical, Borgesian maze-like things there. Uh, so kind of focusing in on the weirdness. Next, there's WEZE, Lose Yourself in the Music. This is a town where there are people that are imposing their order rules. It's a little Kafka-esque in that they have these regulators, and uh, no one kind of knows exactly what they're imposing. The rules may vary, may change. Uh, so we've got this weird force uh, that kind of hangs over us of public order and vigilantes. And then the last is KASH. We all fall down. Here, a crematorium exploded 65 days ago, and ash has fallen since then, and the place has gotten stranger and stranger since then, as this darkness hangs over the city, with a council that may be a particularly strange religious order related to the crematorium, ashes, and so on. Uh, those are our three approaches. So uh, let me see. Casey, do you have strong feelings on one or two, or one you'd prefer not to do?
Yeah, I guess Wheeze is the least interesting to me.
Okay,
Um,
that seems
Authoritarianism might be a little too real today.
okay. Yeah, that seems fair.
Yikes.
Um,
But I'm willing to follow the group. I'm from the Midwest, so if that's what everyone
Absolutely.
is
Yeah, yeah,
super
yeah.
excited about, I'll be there.
Understood. David?
Let me see here. I'm looking at the council persona for the two other ones, Ways and Cash. Um, Between the two, I get the impression that Cash is a little bit more horror. And
It definitely
Waze is a
has a
little bit more
darker.
absurdist.
Yes.
So I guess it depends on whether we want to do more of like an absurdist comedy or whether we want it to be a little bit more sinister, creepy pasta.
Yeah. I think between those two, that's do you have a leaning either way, or are you Midwestern as well?
Well, I mean, I am Midwestern. I'm also, I'm afraid, born and raised. So I don't necessarily have a preference. If
Okay.
you made me pick, I'd say Waze, but I'm honestly fine with either one.
Okay. Kale?
Uh, I don't have a strong leaning either way.
Okay.
Not because I'm Midwestern, just because I'm indecisive.
I think that's fair as well. Ray, any thoughts? If we had to choose between
Hmm.
Waze and Cash, where would you go?
I'm a I'm a Capricorn, so I
Hmm.
do have a dark sense of humor. Um, so the crematorium thing sounds incredibly funny to me, but I do think ways will be easier to not have to worry about the tone so much.
Okay.
I feel like I feel like with the crematorium, I may also have a hard time holding back my dark humor,
I
and I
think that,
might go off the rails a little bit. So for the sake of everybody, we should probably stick with the first
yeah.
one.
And I think that's a good introductory one to kind of try out and get a feel for how this plays out. Um, So ways, and I'll read this literally now out for anyone who might be listening to this. We have a community corner. The community corner says the town finds lost in its labyrinthine streets and the forest that weaves in and out through it. They come and wander. They look for the way out. They look for the way in. We know the way they seek, the way that you seek. Some call this a maze. That's true, but I prefer to think of it as a test. We test our resolve, our wits, our resourcefulness. We forge ourselves into better people through this trial. That said, I would love it if this test would end. And our council persona, we have the council is the Golden Compass, which organizes escape attempts from the maze merged with the town and its exits. Their decrees often point people at possible locations or items that can help the community leave this place once and for all. It's rumored that there is a secret group within the Golden Compass that wants to keep others trapped in the maze. And so to point you at this, and I'm going to screen share so that this becomes HD on YouTube here briefly. Uh, we have a set of 6 different things that are used as elements for the scene prompts. Uh, Innocence, terrors, then moods, places, strange items, and then hosts. Host is for me to pick what our host will be when we get to my section of that. You'll see over in column J that we have a set of prompts. Again, you can pick one or you can roll 3d6. And then we've got d6 for elements there. And then I have a little radio segments thing that I roll on when I do my segment here. All right, I stop sharing. Uh, any questions about that? Okay. Casey, uh, I'm kind of going in order of people arriving. So Casey, David.
Oh, the Midwestern politeness strikes again.
Exactly. Get here on time and you regret it later. I had this thing last night where I went to dinner with my sister and we have a race to see who's going to get there early, like who will be the first one to get there. And finally, I won that race last night, but we were sitting there for like 15 minutes before she arrived. So I had some regrets. So Casey, we're going to put you as the lead player in this, and you can grab yourself a prompt. Um, Feel free to work in notes down below or modify it in the thing with the elements that you want to have for it. So we'll give you a minute or two to pick one and throw some things in there. For WAYS. You'll find yours. Just wait. to get my radio voice on.
It's good. It's good.
Definitely. So if you pick a scene prompt, you randomly roll for like the things that are in the
You can roll
brackets
or pick.
or pick one. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I have, of course, the problem with the layout where I put the scene prompts over there. So I couldn't do word wrap on them because it would mess up my rows and the other thing. So now they're too long.
Yeah, let's get this started. So I want to go with the alchemy prompt,
Okay.
which is innocent person finds a strange item and undergoes a social, mental, or physical transformation. Who do
Okay.
they encounter immediately after, and how does it go?
Okay.
Uh,
So who's our innocent?
a cyclist without a bicycle?
Cyclist without a bicycle
And
finds
this
a
compass that points behind you?
compass, points behind you, and undergoes a social, mental, or physical transformation. Who do they encounter immediately after, and how's it go? So that's kind of the question that we're going to be trying to play out. So now you kind of decide, uh, like, who else do you want to have in the scene with you?
Interesting. Yeah, any volunteers to be the person who encounters this bicyclist?
Right. So it isn't that one of us has to become the cyclist. It's like,
You could either one of you can become the cyclist,
Oh,
or people can be commenting on the cyclist, viewing them from a distance.
okay.
Um, so let's put Ray. Are you interested in being in that scene?
oh my gosh, can I be like the the gay guy version of a Karen, right? Who's like watching from like
Are you good with two
the
people
picket
in the
fence.
scene, Casey?
Yeah, sure,
Okay. So
absolutely.
you and Ray, we're going to give you two minutes to figure out who you are both going to be and what the frame up is here. I'm pushing the button right now. So you two chat amongst yourselves.
All
Okay.
right.
I've staked my claim as the gay Karen, but if you'd rather be someone else and I'm the cyclist, I'm cool with that.
No, that's good. I'm happy to be the cyclist. So, um,
Oh, and
I
then we have to say who they encounter immediately after. Okay.
yeah. So I think this cyclist. I guess am cycling without a bicycle, right? However that works. And I think I'm just going in circles because I'm looking at this compass and trying to like follow it. And so every time I start going somewhere, it turns me around. And so wherever we are, the park or whatever, I think I'm just like making these very short like loops back and forth.
I think I'm watching and I'm giving unhelpful directions. Just a little bit to the left, honey. Almost there. I'm sure you're gonna make it any second now, darling. While I'm recording with my phone, to send it to my
Oh,
boyfriend later.
awesome. So what through the phone lens do we see is like the transformation that's happened to the cyclist?
Ooh, I think as you are as the cyclist is moving around in circles, they're summoning something. That's what the compass is trying to do to get them to summon something that's going to come through to the side. I think they end up at the park, right? And then we see something like starting to struggle to merge from the little like turnaround thing. What is it called? The merry-go-round, right?
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
Mhm.
Feels like
Oh
you've got,
yes.
yeah, you good with that?
Oh, I was gonna say, the how does it go has to be the answer has to be the thing summons, the person disappears, and then the bike is there.
Oh, that's good. And then, oh, and the gay Karen picks
Okay,
up the bike.
that's 2 minutes. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock here, and we're going to have you to play out that scene. Go.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, shit.
I think we
It was
kind
a
of did by
sprint.
accident, which is good.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was the 2 minutes, lol. I'm so sorry.
No,
Like I
that's
thought we were
okay.
just doing the thing in 2 minutes.
Frame it up. Now you can do, in character. Imagine that this is the in character version of that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, so I think Ray, when you were like giving directions, this person is like,
Hmm.
that is not helpful. Like, can't you see I'm struggling with this? And like just continues to.
Oh, give it a second, darling. I'm sure the directions will get through at some point, insinuating to get through the skull.
Mm. Um, and I think, uh, yeah. I mean, would you want to help any at all beyond that, or just instructions today?
Oh, I think I'm being plenty helpful, darling. I think I'm being more helpful than most people. I pointedly look around and the street is empty, but all the doors are open, but no one's coming out. You're almost there. I can see you working up a sweat. It's going great.
And I think for a second they abandoned the compass and like turn in an opposite direction as if to go and ignore this compass, but they just immediately start the loop again, whether like they wanted to or not. Um,
I think that's when the playground bits start to thrum, right? The metal starts to shift and move, and little bits of pebbles start coming off the ground, and we see like a single like clawed thin hand start to come through the blades of grass, and I'm like, almost there, darling,
And that's
just
our
right
scene.
around the corner.
That's it. Okay. We do these in super tight vignettes. Um,
okay.
Mm-mm. Nice, nice.
uh, so now we go from that. Let me that. So I've got to do that. I've got to figure out this and figure out what the radio segment is going to be is okay. And so I think we cut to the radio and it's hi, this is Bob Dobslaw, WAYS. You'll find yours. Just wait. Good morning, everyone. Hoping that you're having an excellent day, visualizing your future. We want us all to move forward, backwards, sideways, in whatever way that we need to go, whatever is good for you. This just in from the park. I just realized we need to cancel decrees first. He's going to stop, pause there, and realize that he's already messed up the rules. There we go. So what the problem with rules like games is it's very easy to forget. So uh, what I need everyone to do is to write in a council degree in that column A. Just grab one of the boxes um, there. And actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to color code them.
Is that everybody, or is it everyone who was in the scene who puts in a decree?
Everyone gets to write a council degree. So in that column A, uh, you can do an order on the there from pick one, drop in a council decree, and then I will roll to see which one we're going to take.
And you were going to announce this like a
I'm going to
like a
randomly
radio
decide,
broadcaster?
and then or it's going to be announced on the radio.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I'm going to return back to WAYZ. Sorry about that. We had some technical errors there in the studio. We apologize for the dead air there, but that was the fine sounds of Philip Glass's Mishima as our interim music there. Hope you all appreciate that. I know everyone in town loves minimalism. So just want to tell you now, we had a traffic alert. We're being instructed to avoid any of the roundabouts in town if you're moving Widdershins. You can move the other direction, but do not move Widdershins on any of the roundabouts in town. Just want to get that out to everyone so that they know what is going on. Had a interesting event down at the park there. The evacuation has been completed. The only fatalities we have registered so far are three mallards from the duck pond, but it's not entirely clear how long the park will be, let us say, set aside. I think that's a good way. Imagine it like another nature preserve in town. That's the way that I'm going to view it because I like to think positively about these things. On a completely unrelated note, the city council is asking that all bicycles be brought to the park and left as an offering. I'm sure there's no connection between this and the evacuation. It feels like a brilliant symbolic way of saying we have civic pride. And that's all from me, Bob Dobslaw, WAYS. So that's how this is going to go. Uh, David, I'm going to put you in the hot chair now to pick a scene prompt.
Right. I'm gonna just pick it randomly. I'm gonna do a number between 3 and 13. I can do that, right? Just pick it randomly.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, live
Number
dangerously.
between 3 and 18. Of course, we're not gonna do alchemy, but what do we have here? Come on. Okay, 9. Making friends. A terror announces itself to the community, and the community reacts in a mood manner, and the terror responds in kind. Well, good. So we need to pick a terror. Um, my goodness, I would not have expected any of these. Um, let's go with ever-changing street signs. I think you can get really creative with that, and it goes with the roundabout Withershins
Okay.
announcement. So we're going to go ever-changing street signs as the terror and the community reacts in a mood manner. Um, I'm going to pick that one randomly too.
Fair.
And I'm rolling 1d6. It is a 6, a thoughtful manner.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So that is the prompt. And now you can grab one or more players and kind of we'll give you 2 minutes to kind of plan out what you want to kind of do with the scene, where, how, when, who kind of thing. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Go.
Okay. Kale, would you like to jump in on this? Because you haven't yet. That's up to you.
Sure.
Fabulous.
I
Well, yeah, go ahead.
If I may, I had a thought for the street signs, which is that perhaps they are actually like talking to the town through the, like the letters will jumble and then it will be you'll get a phrase on the street sign that you're next to. Um,
I'm into it. And we need to, Lowell, we need to determine who's who in the scene, right?
Yeah, whatever you need to do to play out that scene.
Okay. I will be a crossing guard or like a traffic guard who's trying to direct traffic and redirect all bicycles toward the park. Um, and of course things are going to go tremendously wrong because all of the signs are going to be strange.
all right, is it just the two of us? Or do we want to poll?
Anyone else want to get in?
Is someone going to play the signs? feel
I
like
Oh
mean,
yeah, someone should. Someone should. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I
I
think
can
we,
try
we
and
could
play
all
the signs
comment
since I was
on.
the one that
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I think we can all comment on what the signs are saying, but if one person wants to take the lead on that, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh. I'll be the creepy little girl that's like trying to decipher the signs.
Awesome. And I am going to have like a what is supposed to be a stop sign, but every time I hold it up, it's probably going to say something different, and people are going to react, and I might not notice what it says. So,
In a thoughtful way. Right, right,
a
right.
thoughtful way. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Kale, what are you going to be in this scene? Do you want to be like a motorist or a cyclist, or
I was going to be the signs.
you're the signs? I'm sorry. And Ray, or are you anyone in particular?
Yeah, creepy little girl
Creepy little girl.
who's
Okay, perfect.
like around 6 years old, talks like they're 60, that kind of thing.
Oh dear. Okay. Maybe you're about to cross the street, and that's where the scene opens.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds good, sounds good.
And I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock for the scene and go.
All right. And the light is red. All right, come along, come along, come along. I'm waving over to the little girl.
And then
The
I just stand there. Oh, go ahead. Go, sir,
I,
go sign.
I assume you're holding up your stop sign there.
Yep, I'm holding it up for traffic, so I pop my sign up.
It it reads not today.
Wait, I'm trying to react, but it's so funny. So, uh, so the little girl looks at the sign and says, "Young man, it says not today. So are we not crossing the street today?"
I spin it around. Oh, well, we got that sign years ago, so it must be expired here. Let me and I kind of flip it around again. Does it say anything different, or does it keep saying not today on it?
Oh, no, it's expired? Who's expired?
Oh, that's not supposed to happen. And it's written in Comic Sans.
Ooh.
Is this some kind of prank? And I will walk to you, and I kind of walk away from the street, and the traffic begins to resume, assuming that I'm supposed to that I'm letting them go.
Do I
He,
look like the kind of child that enjoys pranks?
the street sign above her head, she's totally serious.
Hmm. Something tells me you're totally serious about this.
I'm trying to keep it together. It's very difficult. Um, and I nod and I say, "Yes, but this is not the first time we've had this conversation, is it?"
And that scene.
Ooh. I'm so
Got that
sorry. I
in at
kept
the end.
stopping to laugh. It's so, it's
All
so
right.
hard.
Let me roll
I
for
don't know
my
how the improv
radio
people do
segments
it.
here. Everybody should write a council decree. Right. No, I'm sure it's a list. News, radio, council. So, WAYS, Bob Dobslaw in the morning. You'll find yours. Just wait. Hey, once again, wanted to tell you that coming up this Friday, we have another community history exhibit, this time covering the famous burning of the signs from 2012. That was the madness, shenanigans, who can say, which caused everyone in town to rip down the street signs and burn them in a massive bonfire. No one knows exactly what prompted that, but just like to bring that back to everyone's attention as a moment in city history that may have contributed to the disorientation that we all now feel. Now, I know that disorientation may be literal, but I also want to imagine that you can overcome that disorientation that is metaphorical for you. Just know that you are the compass for your life. Also, bringing back now, just want to mention that the city council has decreed that all street signs must be obeyed to the letter. I came in this morning down on Johnson Street and it had some rude things to say to me. So maybe be careful when you're obeying those street signs to the letter. In other news, we want to celebrate the retirement of veteran traffic warden Jeremiah Jones, who is stepping down after a strikingly long 3 years on the job. One of the longest serving of our city's traffic wardens. We wish him a speedy recovery. And that brings us to Kale.
Hmm. All right. Um, gonna roll a prompt here. Maybe. Am I going to roll? There we go. All right. So I got feeling supported. Uh, a meeting at a support group for people in the community who have encountered either strange item or terror. People share stories with a mood tone. All right. Um, I'm just gonna roll them. I can't. The prompts are all too good. I can't decide.
Yeah,
So the strange item is a leaf that crinkled beneath your feet 7, 12, 13 minutes ago. Um, the terror is number 6, the roots grinding paths into dust. Um, and I think there were more things. I needed a mood. Yes, people share stories with a mood tone. Um, and we a halcyon tone, which I don't. What does that even mean? My
Like
Oh, I looked it
joyful.
up. Very happy and
yeah.
joyful.
joyful.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Um,
Okay. So figure out who you want in that, and then we'll do planning. This is one that we should have everybody in
yeah, I
for the
think
support
so.
group. Okay.
I feel like this feels like this feels like a good everyone.
Okay. So I'll give you
Let's
2 minutes for
see.
planning, and we'll give you an extra minute for playing it out for everybody to figure out who they want to be in this scene. Like who is someone the support group leader, you know, and whatnot.
I think I'm the leaf blower that's been trying to get that one leaf that everyone is crinkling on. They're my Moby Dick, right? I've been trying to get this leaf for a while.
I was muted. Whoops. I could be the support group leader, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy just to play someone who is uh, enthralled by the leaf that crinkles beneath their feet.
Well, maybe I will be. Maybe I'll play a contrarian who has been is disturbed by the fact that everyone is uh or perhaps is trying to share my experience of the roots that no one else seems to be seeing.
Approaching that is more serious. Okay. All right, I think we're figured out. Let me give you 3 minutes on the clock and go.
I'm the leader of the support group, and I show up a little bit late. I think maybe everybody else is already seated, if that's good for everyone. And as I enter and the door opens, you hear from outdoor the distant sound of sirens and explosions and screaming. I come in and say, I'm so sorry I was late. Had to cause a ruckus out there. A sign said emergency parking only. Can't park without an emergency. So here we are. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Mr. Kafka, and I'll point to either or whoever wants to go. How are you doing today?
Uh, Pretty good actually. Normally I'm not that big on sharing at the meetings, but I just, it occurs to me as I walk around town, and it was just like a few minutes ago on my way here actually. Like I could feel that leaf and beneath my feet. I hear the crinkle, and it reminds me that the seasons are changing, and that there are good things, things that we can be happy about, and like we still hear these like sirens and explosions, right? Like, um, and if it wasn't for this community and this group, I think things would be a lot better off. Um, I think that it's nice to be here and get support from everyone, and if that's a good cue for either one of the other characters.
Oh yeah, why don't you go ahead, Kale?
Okay. Um, well, I do um I'm certainly very glad to be here with you all. I do have some I have been feeling some concern for the loss of our for our ways around town here, the roots that have been growing and that I they just have been making it very hard to navigate the town and find our way around. But you know, Bob, as you say, the perhaps the roots growing is a sign of a rebirth to come, something that something to a growth in the season to look forward to, and we perhaps I needn't worry so much about us losing our ways.
There's no need for the bicycle paths anyway, now that they've all been delivered to the park. Just looking on the bright side.
And that's when I say 7, 12, 13, 7, 12, 13, 7, 12, 13. I have very happily been rearranging my home, everything by 7, 12, 13, 7, 12, 13. I've gotten 7 leaf blowers and then 12 leaf blowers and 13 leaf blowers. And I'm sure 13 is the lucky number. I'll be able to get that leaf today, I'm sure, with everybody's help.
Uh, that's our scene. Uh, Everyone write up a council decree.
That bicycle passing got me. I was like, hang on, coming up next. Dying of laughter.
Okay. WAYS, Bob Dobslaw, here in the afternoon. You'll find yours. Just wait. So, I don't want to be a downer, but I do want to talk about something, an issue that's really affecting our community. I want to remind everyone that burning leaves is strictly forbidden. Just remember, strictly forbidden. And as you probably heard from last night's ruckus, there's a reason why burning leaves is strictly forbidden. The flammability of leaves in the downtown area is well documented, so we encourage everybody to walk with God. Just keep in mind that the council is our friend. The council watches over us, and we must always speak of the council with favorable mood. Please always remember that because sometimes the council provides and we obey when the council provides. The council has provided us with some additional regulations for the city now, in addition to the leaf burning. Please, the council wishes you to collect all roof and leaf dust and bring it to your council approved shrines. Please note that they encourage you to not smoke while providing and collecting your roof and leaf dust. As well, all travel for the current future must be conducted on non-path surfaces while they're being ground into dust. That gotta look forward to what's going one foot in front of the other. It's a journey off the path. You don't want to draw in the lines. You want to walk off the path. That is that is what they're telling us. That's telling us that that is the way out, right? Yeah. So, yes, Bob Dobslaw coming at you. And so decrees 1 and 4. All right, Ray,
Mm.
your turn for a prompt.
Ooh, I saw the shame about those interns and I was drawn to it. Um, so it is shame about those interns, a radio show intern, you can just keep making new ones, they're endless, comes to some misfortune. Ooh. Ooh, terror strange item, host choice. Aren't you the host, Lowell?
Yes. Oh,
Mhm.
let's have it be a terror that causes them their misfortune.
Okay, okay. Let's see. Ooh. I love the idea of a low howl in the darkness. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Yeah, relatable. So a low howl in the darkness at the radio station. Ho, 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 ho. Or, oh, I feel like radio station is funny because I feel like we've been sort of leading up to that point. So, who would like to be um the poor intern maybe? David, I feel like you'd be really funny as the intern.
I have done so many internships, so I can do that. I'm sorry, I might have
Draw
missed
from the
it.
horror.
Did we? Yeah.
Mm.
Did we determine the terror yet?
The low howl in the darkness.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. I accidentally voted both, so they like merged there. But also the low house causing a misfortune. Um, oh, like so we can play to find out. We can improv to find out what that misfortune is for the intern, but
Who are you going to play, Ray?
I could be the low howl. I could be what's talking to the intern. if that makes sense.
That seems fair. I would like to be in the scene as Bob Dobslaw, if I may.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if that's possible because that would be so funny.
It seems fair for the interns.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. I think that's enough for the scene, unless other people wanna jump in.
Okay, ready? Hey, was it Jimmy or Sam or Bob? I really didn't get your name.
It's Garglax, sir.
Okay, we're gonna go with Gar. Hey, Gar, here are my keys. I want you to go out to the parking lot and start up my car for me.
Yeah, right away. That's gonna be a little bit hard to do without walking on the sidewalk, though. So, do I? It's okay if I go down the side of the building, right? Just straight on in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just walk wherever you need to go. The city provides.
Yeah, sure thing. By the way, I made those copies for you as I'm heading out the door. I made those copies for you. Copy machine normally whispers something to you when you make copies, or is that unusual?
I don't know.
Don't tell me
I don't
that
have to make
thing.
copies.
Well, that whatever you say, and I'll go to the door or to the window and I'll open it up as I prepare to kind of like descend down the side of the building. And it's windy outside. Is there a low howl that emerges in?
Yeah, that's when you hear turn around. Tell him how you really feel.
Mr. Dobslaw,
Yes, Jimmy.
look, I didn't mean to. I hope this doesn't strain our relationship at all, but I just want you to know that I really do love you and you're the closest thing to a father I've ever had.
That's nice. The longer you talk, the more cold my car gets. Come on.
Right away, sir. And I'll turn back around and throw a series of bed sheets that I've tied together and begin to climb my way down. And I'll kind of hop directly into the parking lot, go to the car. And is there anything strange about the car that anyone wants to volunteer? Or does it just turn right on?
With a low howl, right?
Yeah, that's true. I think you hear the sound of the machine. Drive me. Let's go.
All right. Well, might as well get this thing warmed up. I lean out the window. Hey, Dad, Bob. I'm just gonna warm the car up. I'll just do a couple laps around the parking lot, stay off the paths. You know how it is. Slam. And I start doing donuts.
And I think that's where we cut away from that 2 minutes there. Council decrees. WAYS. You'll find yours. Just wait. Bob Dobslaw in the evening with you talking tonight. I just want to give a special shout out for the loss of one of our station interns, Jimmy Garbus. And just want to say we're all going to miss the little fella and just want to say If you bring my car back, then all will be forgiven. Just want to get that back. Put a lot of money into that car. It was success that I visualized with my vision board, and I spent months on that. And just like to get that back, it's really hard Ubering into work when there's only one Uber driver in town. And just want to say that I'm getting anyway. In any case, but first, we just want to give a special thanks to today's sponsor for WAYS's evening program. So, Amazing Vodka, the only vodka homemade on the mazes and corn paths of our fair city. Amazing vodka is sun-kissed and tempered by the strange twists and labyrinths of our city. It's the only vodka that, well, I'm not allowed to actually say. So try Amazing Vodka. They sponsor our show. You'll see the difference. In other news, station intern steals star broadcaster's car. Just going to refrain and rephrase that again. The council has also renamed Wednesday to Wednesday in honor of the howl. All obey the howl, all listen to the howl, all honor to the howl. For the time being, every day is Wednesday. Let's take a break and we'll come back and do one more cycle if that sounds good with everybody. So take 10, so we'll go to a quarter after. Hello and welcome back to the second half of Community Radio with WAYS. We're going to do another set of play with calling the event. So, Casey, we are back with you, picking out your prompt there.
Yeah, I think I'll go number 10. We are all individuals. Innocent person stumbles upon a secretive cult that worships a strange item in place of interest. What is it that they want? Um, I don't have anything for the innocent person, just a normal townsperson, I think. But I think the secretive cult worships a discarded map
Oh,
of a different city.
we do have options for the innocent person, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Just none of them. Yeah, I guess.
Oh, none of them call out to you.
Yeah, yeah. So just yeah, an office worker, a
Mm.
surveyor. Actually, let's go with the surveyor. That makes the most sense, I
Oh.
guess, with a map.
Mm.
So a
Mhm,
surveyor
mhm.
stumbles upon a secretive cult that worships a discarded map of a different city, and they are gathering at a place of interest, which is the third turn off of First Avenue. And what do they want? I'm happy to try to figure that out in 2 minutes. But I kind of see the scene a bit like the like a who's on first thing, but with street names, right? Like which road is next to what road, next road is next to, yeah, you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing.
Ooh, what is the place? Sorry, I didn't quite
Oh,
catch that. The place of interest.
third turn off of First Avenue.
Okay.
Are we set? Do we know who's going to be in the scene?
Oh, yeah. So does anybody want to play some cultists? I'm happy to play the innocent person. Um,
I can be a cultist.
I think I need to take a break from this one just because I've been laughing so hard at the last few. Like the whole break, I was like, oh, so I'm just gonna watch this time.
I will. I can't necessarily. I'm not sure I can commit to solid who's on first cultist lines. But if something comes to me, I will play an additional cultist.
Fair enough.
Okay. So I'm going to put 2 minutes on the timer and have you get started.
Excellent. Yeah, so up walks the surveyor to this group standing around a map. And it's like, well, who's in charge here? What do
Um,
you,
can we all be wearing cult robes?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so I'll actually do this. We all have cult robes on. We are all in charge here. The map is in charge. Have you taken the high road, good sir?
Well, you have to take the high road to get here, and behind him, you see the street sign change to high road. And why are you all gathered in the middle of the road? You're not supposed to be here. Like, can I see this map?
Oh, only if you look with your eyes. High road, high road, high road.
And like grabs the map and looks at it and is like, no, this isn't the high road. You need to be on the next road. And like points back up at the thing and it's changing. And the map says, like the map is changing to, you know what I mean? Like match the street signs.
I
You're
look
on
with
the,
confusion at the rest of my cult members.
Wait, wait. He's right. Wait, we should go that way.
yes, you are on the wrong road. And again, it like,
The sign just says that way. The map is trying to tell us something. What's the map trying to tell us? And I will grab the surveyor and shake them by the collar.
And
and I think he grabs you back and just goes, to get out of town.
we'll cut there. All right. So we cut back to uh, WAYS Bob Dobbs Law in the morning. You'll find yours. Just wait. So,
Decrees, lol.
oh God, I'm going to do it again, aren't I? Hold on. We have some technical issues. So I've put another set of the four down there in the A column. All right. WAYS, you'll find yours. Just wait. Bob Dobbs Law back again. Sorry about that technical issue. There was a bird caught in the lines. So we're back again in local news for public information. Just want to put out there that the time for the cult recruitment meeting for this Sunday has been moved up an hour. Just as a reminder, refreshments are not allowed at recruitment times for cults, but just get out there. It's a great way to find yourself a community that you can get along with. Uh, just be careful and avoid what happened with the most recent map cult. Just, just don't think about the cult, is what we say here in the the room. So just want to get that out there. Uh, uh, on that note, the council has decreed that people should stop reading maps. Maps lead to illusion, maps lead to destruction of the soul. So just remember that maps aren't your friend. You need to stop reading them immediately. So says the council. And that's really what the council means. It's not a shadow plan. I'm not trying to fool you. That's actually what the council decree says. Just getting that literally out there. Hey, but excitement. As of this morning, we have the results in on popular snacks in our town. Dark horse candidate number 4, hummus. Hummus is the most popular snack in our town as of this time. Coming up number 3, it only makes sense, carob. Everybody loves carob since we're not allowed to have chocolate anymore, and you know why. You all know why we're not allowed to have chocolate anymore. Number 2, pixie sticks. Pixie sticks making a comeback after falling off last year from popular snacks in our area. And finally, for the third year in a row, the most popular snack in our area, circus peanuts. Orange, big, mushy. Everybody loves them, circus peanuts. Remember, this morning show is brought to you by Circus Peanuts. And that brings us back to David.
All right. So I went ahead and rolled mine already.
Okay.
So I'm all ready to go. Number 11, it was fine until you showed up. This one's kind of a mouthful.
Okay.
But I've got all the kind of Mad Libs all ready to go. So what it's going to look like is an office worker has a wistful time at place number 3, a narrow alley that smells of the sea, while hanging out with a busking guitarist until the procession, shrouded in pale green, I don't know what the heck that's going to be, shows up. How do things get better or much, much worse? So we need an office worker, a busking guitarist, and maybe someone who can take the procession. Any volunteers for any of that?
I can feel like a procession.
That sounds good. So Ray can be the procession.
Was there something that someone that you were angling for, David?
Um, Not particularly. I could be I could do either one. I did you have a preference one way or the other, Casey?
No, not not particularly, I guess. But
Kale, any ideas on your end?
I can be a wistful office worker. That's fine.
Okay, I'll be a wistful guitarist then, and we'll have a wistful time together.
Okay. This is a complicated one. Let's put 3 minutes on the clock since we've got 3 people in a complicated setup here. And we'll hit this correctly. Go.
I'm playing an acoustic cover of I Saw the Sign by Ace of Base. And I hit the final chord and I wistfully say, "What a nice song, huh?"
Walk, uh, walking up as you finish, and oh, just brings me back the song and the smell of the ocean. It really makes me think of a time. Wow, when was that time? How long has it been? Well, a time before I was here in the town, before I arrived, when I had people who I I had people before I was here.
I'm sorry. You're not human, are you?
I think so. I don't think so. I,
Is
well,
that? Oh,
no, go ahead. He
no, no.
trails
I was
off.
gonna. Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna dramatically interrupt. With the absence of sound precedes the procession, and it is a group of bicycles shrouded in pale green maps that like move in unison like a shoal of fish moving through the narrow alley, and with it comes the strong, strong smell of the sea always beyond reach of the city, of the town.
I begin to play Bicycle by Queen.
A growing sense of realization fills my eyes. I turn to the guitarist and say, "You you were right. I'm not human." And the office worker starts following with the bicycles, moving as a fish does towards the sea.
And that's it.
That was so
Ah,
good.
council decrees. Okay. WAYS, Bob Dobslaw here at the crack of noon. You'll find yours. Just wait. On a personal note, I just want to mention that I'll be signing my book, Yes Man Isn't a Dirty Word, down at the train depot this afternoon, given the closure of the bookstore, or rather, their temporary closure of the bookstore. You may remember what happened there. But I'll be signing and giving autographs, and anyone who wants to pick up my book, the copies have come in from Lulu. So very excited to see what comes of that. A bit of station news. We found out today that Ace of Base, they're actually Nazis. We will no longer be playing Ace of Base music on our station. We want to apologize for our Ace of Base weekend last weekend. We did not realize that they were, in fact, Nazis. Finally, on a last note here, the council wants to remind everyone that you must prepare for tonight's seance when we shall all speak to the polterbikes. I want to remind everybody, don't interfere with the passage of the polterbikes. Do not taunt happy fun bikes whatsoever. It's important not to do that. There's a reason they're called polterbikes, but we'll see you at the procession tonight for that big seance. Bob Dobslaw out. And Kale.
Yeah. So I rolled mistaken identity. The community thinks they've revealed or defeated, and then I rolled the ground shifting and reshaping. But really what they've done is impaired or hurt a busking guitarist. Um, I think they feel hazy about it. What do they do afterwards? Um, David, how do you feel about reprising your role as the busking guitarist?
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then I guess the question would be, what, well, so any additional volunteers as community? I feel like the thing I'm not sure on is what did they do with the ground that hurt the guitarist? Or what did they do to try and deal with the ground? I don't.
I mean, is it as simple as like the community meeting about how like we're reconstructing the roads that have been, like the ground went all crazy and now we're doing all this construction, which leaves the busker no corners to play on.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, can I hear that one more time just because I'm playing this guy?
Oh, I was saying like the terror has disturbed the ground and then the town has gone into construction mode to fix it, which has left all possible street corners for the busker to busk on
Oh no.
gone. Like you don't have
If
anywhere to play.
if I'm can I pitch this as a like town meeting, classic like Northeast style, like everyone is in the
Yes.
local like town hall or church building, and perhaps the busker has come to raise a complaint and no one else knows what they're talking about?
That feels solid. You ready to go with that? Everybody possible may jump in the scene. I'll give you 3 minutes on the clock. Um, Kale, I'll let you start the meeting when I hit the thing. So
Sounds good. Sounds good.
here we go.
Well, thank you, George, for bringing that important piece of business to us. The next item on our agenda is uh uh Gar, um and if you please could come up here, and you have a note here about the construction. Is the construction noise? Does it? Anyway, Gar, come on up, and please tell us what it is that you're finding concerning.
Um, then I'm like adjusting the mic constantly, trying to get it. Yes, thank you for the time allotted to me. I would like to register a noise complaint regarding the construction being conducted on every street corner, street angle, and street crossing in town. I'm registering 90 to 120 decibels on my smartwatch. And the whole thing leaves me unable to pursue my means of livelihood. I just finished a cover of Dead Kennedy's Nazi Punks Fuck Off, and now I can't be heard.
Play Freebird.
I thank you, Gar, for that noise. Can I ask, has anyone else had any issues with construction noise? I know, I mean, I have not, but I perhaps this is a problem that is affecting more of the community.
Someone in the background shouts, "What?" over the construction noise.
Well,
The creepy little girl says, there hasn't been any construction noise.
thank you, Jennifer. Your input, as always, is invaluable. Um, well, Gar, if you would take go find Form 32B at the town clerks, and you can submit that to the post office, and they'll get back to you within 3 months to for the disposition of your complaint.
Um, You mean this form? And I hold up the map of the Forgotten Town.
And I
Sir,
think that's our 3 minutes. Council decrees. All right. WAYS, you'll find yours. Just wait. This is Bob Dobslaw coming back to you. That was Needle and the Damage Done by Neil Young, part of our Neil Young weekend, repeatedly over and over again. We'll be back with that song about the horse in the desert here in just a minute. But before that, just want to note that we've had reports of rogue vigilante curb builders operating in the city. And if you have any information on people who are maliciously, radically rebuilding our roads outside of the civic ordinance provided areas, times, and restrictions, you should call Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers, we mostly won't take your number and name. So, weather coming in right now, we have a storm front coming in here. We expect that to blow in and not affect the Polster bike procession, which is still continuing despite our best efforts. But if you're out there in the rain, just remember that lightning is attracted to polterbikes. Don't get near the procession. Also, Civic Council has hounded down a new decree. Just remember, everyone, you must play Freebird. And Ray, take us out with the final one of these prompts here.
Ooh, I had to choose a live broadcast. Um, terror comes into the station in the spirit of mood. The rest of the community invades the radio station in the middle of a broadcast, include the host of the radio station in the scene. So, um, I think, oh man, we have so many good horrors. Um, I think the funniest one would be the procession. It could be the same one. It could be a different one. It could be a procession of the signs instead. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna put that in.
What's the
Comes
mood?
in. Yeah. Ooh. I've been eyeing decaying just because I'm not sure what that means. Or should we go for if I say decaying, does that make sense to people and what that means to play out? Or should I switch to
Absolutely, we can start with that.
yeah, and then happy to the rest of the yeah, I think that's it.
So
The rest
everybody
of the
can jump
community.
in on this last one.
Hmm.
Do you want me to kick it off?
Oh yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Bob Dobslaw here. So right now I'm in the booth. It looks like the procession has made their way into the building. They seem to be breaking down various structures. They're warping records. It looks like yep. That's my new car falling apart out there. Seems like they've brought some kind of pale green rust with them. Jimmy, what do you think about the situation here from what you can see out in the parking lot? Jimmy, please answer me. I'm so alone here in the booth. Please, someone talk to me.
Yeah,
Anyone?
absolutely. Yeah, coming to you
Oh, thank
live here from the
God.
parking lot.
Yeah.
And it's
What's it
gotten
like out there,
worse.
Jimmy?
It's gotten worse by
Oh
far.
no.
Yeah, the procession is now shedding road signs that are telling us absolutely horrendous things, not only about ourselves but about the future.
I see. I see. I heard that there was a mob on the way. Can you talk to any of the mob members? Maybe talk them down. If they're coming after us, if they're, can you tell us something about that? Do you have eyes on the mob?
Yeah, here comes the mob right now. They do not look happy. I hope it'll be all right for me. Anyways, here we go. Townsfolk, mob number one. What's the mob for?
Well, the council told us that we must follow the signs to the letter, and this sign said burn the station. So here I am. It is time to burn the station. The council has decreed it.
Uh,
Bob, I'd get out of there. I am.
Yeah, yeah. It's any. I'm working on getting my way out of the station here. It's a little slow progress here. Maybe you could hear from an alternate voice, maybe someone who isn't interested in arson or pyromancy at this point. Anyone else here?
I'd really rather not stick around too long. But I guess, how about you, little girl? Anything you have to say today?
This was all as was foretold in the last map of our reckoning. I'm happy to share it, as are all the signs.
Oh, good. As foretold in prophecy. Excellent, excellent. Anyone else? I hear someone playing music. Is someone playing Freebird out there? I'm really hoping.
Dad, and I'm like leaning out of the out of your car, and it's blasting Freebird. Get in, we're getting out of here.
Oh my God, thank God. Wait. What did you do to these tires? Oh my God. Just keep playing Freebird. That's all that matters. Jimmy, can you make it to the car, do you think?
Well, I'll do my best, Bob, but don't wait up for me.
Okay, we won't. Drive right now.
The solo to Freebird kicks in as we begin to peel out.
And that's it. That's our 3 minutes there. Nice reincorporation. So that's community radio. Uh, uh, it says it can play like up to 10. I can imagine one of the things you would have with a physical version of this is you'd have the cards out in front of you and can do the prompts and things. And so I think that would have a tactile feel. Uh, uh, um, I kind of dig it. It's cute. Let's do just a quick stars and general thoughts from folks. My thought is I dug it. Uh, it's that kind of I like a good uh like GM-less, well, not GM exactly GMs, but diceless game that has some structure. Like you know where you are at any point. I always appreciate that. Casey, anything you want to say? Stars, wishes, thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. Uh, Pay attention to what the person who's running the game tells you about the game so that you don't jump into the first 2 minutes and try to do all of everything in the first 2 minutes. But other than that, it was really great. Tons of fun. David, you have an amazing mind for a callback. And that
Yes.
was like, those were always really solid. And the emergency parking was a great little call. Um, Gail, the signs that read differently, like that was a great idea right away. And like they, the way that you set them up immediately, because I immediately thought, oh, the letters that are on the sign are going to rearrange. So stop could only become tops or whatever, right? But you were like, no, they're saying all kinds of stuff. That was awesome. And yeah, love the creepy girl, Ray, right? Like, why not? And like the way that you were, this isn't the first time we've talked about this. Uh, very good. And Lowell, a shout out to Carob. It was super random, but also as you were listing disgusting snacks, Maybe Circus Peanuts are the only ones that beat Carob. And also shout out for calling Ace of Base what they are.
Yes.
I looked that up. I had no idea.
Oh, no, I know.
I went to their
I
Wikipedia
thought
page
it
and
was a trope.
I
Oh,
did
no, it's a
Control
trope.
F Nazi, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What a disappointment.
Isn't that
Wow.
terrible?
It is.
Oh,
Wow. I think I'm gonna
also,
look this
who
up
wrote
later.
Polter Bikes? That was
Oh,
amazing.
that was
Whose
great.
is
That
that?
was me. I was yeah.
Oh, dynamite.
Yeah,
Dynamite.
yeah.
Uh, David, any shout outs, thoughts you want to give here?
I mean, about the system itself, if you have to go into it not expecting a real plot to emerge out of it, but just a lot of kind of like one-off jokes that come back repeatedly. So it reminds me a little bit of like I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but like it's a bunch of it's like a bunch of like German short films is kind of what it reminds me of, like a bunch of like indie, like no budget French or German short films all put together with no real plot. That's what it reminds me of.
22 short films about Philip Glass or whatever.
Something, yeah. The thing that I think this game does that I wish other games of its type did is having the hard 2 minute timer or 3 minute timer is incredibly important. I've played in a lot of games like Fiasco, for example, that are very heavily improvised. And unless people just are well trained in improv, which most players aren't, I'm not, no one knows when to end the scene, and you just kind of go and go until no one knows what to say anymore, and then you shrug your shoulders and say, hey, are we done now? But having a hard you're done really puts a punctuation mark on everything, and it makes everything land. Even if it cuts things off in the middle, I think it makes everything a lot
Yeah,
better. So
yeah.
the timer is important, and I'm glad that that's in there. But no, I had a really good time. He did a really good job as Bob Dobslaw. Ray, I really liked the creepy little girl in the we've done this before. That was when the game really took off for me. Was on that line. We've spoken like this is the first time we've had this conversation. Um, um, uh, Casey, did you write Play Freebird as the decree? Or
Yeah, once I got past my Midwestern sensibilities to interrupt you and yell that out in the meeting, I was going to stick with that bit till the end for sure.
that was
That was
awesome.
great.
And Kale, I loved the mental image of you drifting off with the shoal of bikes and maps.
Yes.
That also stood out to me as a big visual touchstone. So lovely time. I would play this again.
Awesome. Awesome. Kale?
Yeah, so I haven't done a lot of sort of like pure improv-y kind of games. So this was it was a little bit intimidating, honestly. As we started, I was like, there's way less structure here than I had any idea that it's gonna be. But um I agree, with David that the 2 minute, 3 minute timer that was sort of key to keep it from anything from sort of overstaying its welcome. Everything just like all of the all of the vignettes felt really like relevant because they didn't just keep going.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I had a blast. That was a lot of fun. Um, I I had a question. Did you like pre-generate these radio? Like, I'm sort of curious how much does the book put together and how much was
So each of these radio stations is there, and there's about, I think, either 10 or a dozen of them in the book that have all of these prompts. The seed
okay.
prompts and the radio segments are universal across all of them,
Yep,
but all the other stuff is in the book.
got it.
Yeah. It's really nice. There's a really interesting variety of things in there. I really like how wide it goes. Like just having played this, I can tell that a different one of these stations would feel very different.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that. Ray, anything you want to say?
Um, I feel like David almost murdered me multiple times. I I'm still recovering. I mean everybody was funny, but David would like come up with the gosh when David said like playing I saw the sign and then later it was bicycle from Queen. Oh, anyway, it was lots of stuff. David, and then when David put on the little cultist
Oh yes, the
thing, I
cult.
just got so done.
That was
So I was
great.
always worried when I was about to talk, and then David would say something first because that's it. I'm dead. I'm gonna have to spend a whole minute. But like, but it was true for everyone. Like Kale was also really getting me with the signs and what they were saying, and I was like, must remain creepy little girl. So this game was super super fun. I really love the I've seen and played some like Nightvale inspired ones, but I really like this one. I feel like this is more approachable,
Hmm.
and I feel like it I don't know, I feel like it better understands what Nightvale is doing, like the sense of randomness and whatever. Um, but I also really love seeing everyone bring it to life. I was really impressed when people would like bring in, because to me everything was so disconnected. So I was really shocked when people would bring in stuff from before. And I was like, wow, that's really smart. So I was really impressed by everyone here. Um, I also really loved uh how I couldn't I couldn't count on how people would respond to things, which is, the fun part of improv and everything. But especially when David once again killing me like, wow, you're the closest thing I've ever had to a friend, and I'm
Yeah.
going dad and blah blah, just like killing me.
That was great.
Absolutely killing me. So good. But also great with the radio segments. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I really like going back and forth between scene and then radio thing scene. It
Yeah.
was really good.
I will
Super
say
good.
it is super fun being the host, like being the radio host. Like
Mm.
it is, if you like riffing on what people have done, this was
Mhm.
super fun. It was really my wheelhouse for shit I dig. So it was great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
loved it.
super impressive. Hmm.
Um, awesome. Thank you, everybody. Again, this is Community Radio by Quinn Murphy. You can pick it up on PDF. I'll make sure in the show notes that I have a link to that because you should. He does great work. He's done a lot of great things, and I hope more people will get into this. So I'm going to stop the recording.